this computer. So, really quickly, I'll go through oh, I'm so glad Lori's hopping on. She was asking about the stuff from this group. So 4 levels of belief within Beachbody. He says that the first level of belief is when you yourself dive into a program, you do it 100%, and you get incredible results, and you believe in the products. So that's like level number 1 of belief. Level number 2 is you sign up as a coach, and you really start to believe in this as a business opportunity. So that's level number 2. Level number 3 is you really start to immerse yourself in the community. You start, really appreciating kind of leadership as far as Carl Deichler and, the corporate guys, as well as all of the celebrity trainers. You start to go to Super Saturdays. You go to a summit. You really immerse yourself in the community, and you believe in Beachbody in the whole sense of the term, and as a company, and being a part of it and its mission. And then the 4th level of belief is belief in you, because the truth is that you're not going to be able to take this business anywhere if you don't believe in yourself. You can't just kind of think, well, Beachbody is an awesome company and other people have done it, so of course I'm going to do it. You need to believe in you and your ability to lead and to have a team and to have a vision and to be confident enough to go after it. So I really liked how he broke those down. So I just felt like I wanted to start this call with that and those 4 levels of belief. He talked about working on building your sexy on the inside, which I thought was such a cool thing. This isn't all about looks and about being the hottest in the in the whole whatever network. This is about building your sexy on the inside and working on you and creating that charisma that's just going to be magnetic. And it's going to attract people to you and all that good stuff. So that's where I wanted to start. As far as Marketing Impact Academy, it was like mind-blowing. I'm also kind of a business geek and a marketing geek. And so all of this stuff was just so fun to learn. At the same time, it was so much information. So what Stephanie and I are planning on doing is really breaking this down into segments, and we'll be, dispersing the information eventually, but we want to just take it one step at a time. And also wanted to kind of at the end of this call, I'm going to bring up some potential topics. And so essentially I want to see what you guys are most interested in diving into first, and then we can go from there. But to start, I wanted to first talk about something that's really important for all of us in this business, and it's identifying something in us that might be holding us back. And kind of how she broke this down is in 3 different types of people. And I'm hoping all of you guys can identify which of these types of entrepreneurs you might be. And then, so once you know what you are, you can start working through it. So the first type of entrepreneur that she talked about is being a perfectionist. And basically, when you're a perfectionist, you become completely paralyzed and you don't end up doing anything because you're thinking, researching, wanting things to be perfect. You're afraid of failure. You will keep on, digging into all of the nooks and crannies of every decision you make before acting, because you want to be 100% sure that you're not going to get hurt or you're not going to fail, that it's going to be a success. And the problem with being a perfectionist is that you'll literally never get anything done. You're going to get stuck in the mud, because in order to grow, you have to fail. You have to fail through things. And she shared this amazing story about learning to shoot a gun with her dad. Like, her dad, I guess, was a hunter. And he was trying to show her how to aim, right? And, he gave her all the info, and then she kept asking questions. And then he kept saying, well, just pull the trigger, stop asking questions. You can't adjust until you just go for it and pull the trigger. And it's like that with everything. We have to sometimes dive in and take risks and do new things so that we can then look back at what we just did and adjust the sails and adjust and readjust our aim and what we're doing. So that's a perfectionist. The second type of personality type is a jumper. And I'm talking about this from a business sense, but understand too that everyone we're talking to, even about joining our team or a health journey, all of these people hold these characteristics too. So it's important to identify these types of things in them as well. So a jumper. A jumper is someone who will go from one idea to a next. They might start an email list, but then hear this amazing podcast on live video and dive into that. And then they learned this new technique or a new app, and they want to play with that. And then before they know it, they're jumping from one thing to the next, and they're not actually implementing anything because they're just learning, jumping. Same could be said for people who might jump from different multi-level marketing company to marketing, company to company to company. They just keep jumping. So basically what Chalene was telling us is that, and I love this idea because I do this with podcasts. I listen to every podcast under the sun. Like, I don't know if you guys do the same thing, but what she recommends doing is whatever skill you're trying to develop, just immerse yourself in podcasts and articles and YouTube videos and things related to that skill. And then before jumping onto the next skill, implement it into your business. Know it so well that you could do a team call on it, that you could present it, and then move on to the next thing, rather than kind of scattering all over the place. So that's what a jumper is. Just based on those two things, can anyone kind of identify with one more than the other, the jumper or the perfectionist?
Can I just say that I'm pretty sure I've been both of those so far throughout everything? I totally started as a perfectionist, and then I got like super excited with personal development and podcasts, and I became like a jumper. And I'm hoping whatever gets better, I'm becoming that now.
So no, that's a good thing. So the way she put it is it's easier to go. So let me talk about the third thing that we all want to work towards, is being a soldier. And the way she kind of put the soldier is that the soldier is consistent, shows up, and stays on task. And this is someone.
Yeah, that's what I want to be. And that's like my goal for this year. And I've been decent with it.
Yes, no, and that's what we want all of us to work towards. And she said it's easier to go from jumper to soldier because that means you're not afraid to do. The most paralyzing thing that we can be is a perfectionist, because we won't do anything. We'll just overthink it until we're blue in the face and we'll never get anything done. And I am a pseudo recovering perfectionist. I'm still working through perfectionism myself. I've always been that way my whole life, but I think my competitiveness with myself is the thing that will pushes me through my perfectionism, because I know if I don't act, then I'm just going to stand still, and that to me is scarier than anything in the world. I want to achieve, I want to do things in this life, so I want to grow. So those were, the three things, I guess, types of entrepreneurs that she explained to us. And again, once you're able to identify that in yourself, you can start to work through it. Perfectionist when it comes to posting, jumper when it comes to PD. And the other thing too about perfectionism is it causes a whole lot of waste of time, because done is better than perfect. And we can end up doing so, because at the end of the day, honestly, if you even weigh the thing that's going to move our needle forward, is it posting or is it having 2 more conversations that we could have been doing when we're overthinking our post? And I do the same thing, by the way, Cindy. It's the 2 conversations that we could be having with people instead of the post. So kind of another way to think about it. I'm just going into the chat real quick. Oh, Darren Hardy said that too. Yeah, that's what I noticed too about the speakers, is that there was so much overlap, and you're like, well, there's a reason these guys know what they're talking about. There's a reason they are where they are in their life, so you better start trusting them. Okay, so now we can jump into the business stuff now that we've kind of talked about the mindset things. Basically, Chalene said, like, the number one thing that you can do once you've identified who your lifer is, once you know who you can and want to help. And when I say that, she got specific. Like, she asked a few people in the audience, and they were like, I want to help moms who feel stuck. And she's like, no, that's not enough. Like, how old are they? How many kids do they have? What did they do before they were mom? Do they work? Do they not? Like, be very specific, and that's going to help you, first of all. But once you know all that, and we obviously are a step ahead of a lot of entrepreneurs because we have the Beachbody platform, we have our products, it's easy for us to complete that kind of transaction. We need an email list. And, oh, yay, yay, go Cindy. We need an email list. And the cool thing is that MailChimp is 100% free for your first 2,000 subscribers. Now, I kind of like poo-pooed at this for a little while. I'm like, I don't need an email list. Like, my business isn't big enough to need an email list. But I actually started implementing this after listening to one of her podcasts last year. And it's not where I want it to be yet, but I started it just with my customer and coach base. It's super easy to import your customers and your discount coaches into MailChimp. There's a video that I could actually share when I share the recording of this team call. It is super duper easy. And what that allows you to do is so easily communicate with your customers and coaches. So that's like number one. Step one, open up your free MailChimp account and import your customer and coach list in there and get that started. Yep, Brenna, no problem. Kathy Reuter's husband is actually the one that did the video. So he does really great videos. And so that's step one. Step two is growing that email list. So besides just your customers and coaches, how do you grow an email list? One thing that I have not been leveraging enough are capturing emails from my free groups. So sorry, I'm gonna go back to the chat really quickly. Okay, I am gonna go back to that, Lori. That's gonna be next. So thank you for that question. So free groups. Instead of just adding people to a Facebook group, have them just do you can actually even do sign-up sheets within MailChimp. Like, you don't even need a Google form. You can even create sign-up sheets right within MailChimp, and that will start to grow your email list. So you want to be a part of this free group, sign up for this email list. And the other cool thing is that not only can you run the free group in Facebook, but since we're developing these free groups ahead of time with all the content, you can even shoot the email, like the content of the email as well each day. Because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes in Facebook group, people get lost in Facebook. People are part of so many groups, some that they want to be a part of, some that they don't. They're getting notifications up the wazoo. I don't know about you, but some of my group interaction, it's not always there. And I think it's because of how overwhelming Facebook can be. So let's leverage email a little bit more and build the relationship there too. So it's not really any more work because you have it all saved, and it can be a really simple way to do that. The other way to grow your email list, if you have a website or blog, it's easy to have an opt-in button on your email. Like, you've probably been on a blog before where a little thing pops up and says, like, join my email list. Or a lot of people will have little like freemiums where drop your email and I'll send you a free meal plan, like stuff like that you can do. And on that same note, that's another way to grow your email list. And she kept saying this. She's like, don't overthink it. People think freemium or baby offer, and it's like this big, huge thing. It can be like 5 recipes. It could be, what did I read this great one the other day? Oh, it was my top 3 takeaways from the most recent book I read. Like, I'm not even kidding. And people, like, so if you just read a great PD book that changed your life, you could literally have some content built around it with your favorite quotes from it or something like that. So don't overthink freemiums. And then all people have to do is drop your email below and I'll send it to you, or sign up on this form and I'll get that to you. You know, meal prep tips, anything that you're passionate about, you can create that into something that you can exchange an email for. And then what that does is, in MailChimp, you can even create segments. So, you know, we all have our passions, right? Like for me, I have yoga, you know, food, whatever. You can start to create segments in MailChimp based on how you connected with these people. These are my yoga people. So I know I'm not going to lose anybody. Anytime I do a yoga group, I can just send an email to that segment of people being like, I'm doing another yoga group. You want to be a part of this? Because I don't know about you, but I am not an organized person right now. And I am sure that during my 2 years of running free groups, people have gotten lost along the way. And I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to keep track of your people from the very beginning so that 2 years from now, Sally that you met in 2017, you haven't forgot about in 2019. No, 3 kids do not help me with my organization skills whatsoever. Does that make sense? Is that helpful? So as far as Lori's question, how often I've been emailing them, I will say I've been emailing once a month, and I want to up that. But I had a lot of success in January, and I know for a fact that it's because of the email that I sent them in December, gearing up for the new year. I think all but one of my challenge pack sales were from old customers that wanted to get back on board. And they filled out a form that I put in the email, and they geared up to go, and they got the All Access Challenge Pack. So I think that we can sometimes reach out to people one-on-one, but again, not everyone is into the Facebook Messenger, I'm noticing. Facebook in general, I just don't love it for communication, but email, it's business. This is us treating this like the business that it is. And if, I don't know who always says it, but I think it's Shalene, she says, if, God forbid, Facebook were gone tomorrow, would you lose your whole business? Like, we don't want to lose our businesses. We want to collect these emails so that we can stay in contact with these people that we've met along this journey. She did get her business hacked. Yes, she talked about that too. Let me see. But where are you directing them to? So do you mean, so in the case of what I've been doing recently, Lori, I just have a little form for them to fill out. I've done challenger check-ins via email as well. But one thing that I want to move forward into is emailing my prospects now more often as well, based on these lists that I want to build from free groups and whatnot. Does anyone have any email questions? Oh, I have one more thing about this. She said the most important, this is brilliant. Oh, again, I love marketing, so I'm such a geek. But she said the most important email you will ever send is a confirmation email. So, for example, someone decides that they want your meal plan thing or whatever. And so you send it off to them, right? And you're confirming with them, here's your meal plan, I'm excited for you to have it. And then the very bottom though, this is an opportunity to say, P.S. I have my, Reboot Your Body Challenge coming up starting on blah, blah, blah date. Would love for you to be a part of it. Let me know. Click here for more information, whatever. Maybe if you have a website link about it or a survey about it, if they want more information, or I don't know, send them somewhere. But it's a way to sneak in that next level. Basically, she's like, you want to take your customers on a journey. They might be starting with these recipes that you're sending them. What's next? Give them a path to go down. Is it your next group that you're running? Or are you, is it the challenge group? Just give them that little inkling in the confirmation email of what they can do next as a part of their journey. So I thought that was a really cool idea. So that's all I have on email. Did anyone have questions on that? What do you email your people monthly? Yeah, right now it's just new groups. But I want to add more value. Like, that doesn't feel enough to me. I want to engage them more and give them more. Like right now I'm working on spring recipe ideas. I'm going to give like a 10 recipe, 5 to 10. I haven't decided how big it's going to be, but of just like fresh ideas for spring cooking, something like that. And I want to send that to my entire list. I'm thinking too, even guys, and please use this idea if it's helpful to you. When I do a challenge group invite on Facebook, I have people fill out a form because I have more luck with that than people writing interested or reaching out to me personally. I think, again, people just feel less pressure. I think what I'm going to start doing is, as a bonus, just for filling out this form, I'm going to send you my free blah, blah, blah. Like this time it'll be my recipes. So maybe people aren't even filling out the form necessarily for the challenge group. Maybe they just want the recipes, but I'm starting more conversations with people even if they just want the recipes. So taking advantage of that challenge group invite in another way as well. Cool. So that's about emails. The next thing before, because I know we're running out of time, I'm sure. Yay, perfect timing. I wanted to just kind of rattle off a few ideas of subjects that we can dive more into, kind of like this email, I guess you can call it a training. It's not super a training, but just kind of the basics of it. And you can tell me what would be helpful to all of you first. Maybe you could put it in the chat box, your top 2 or something. So how to communicate and connect with your story. Live video. She went off on live video, like, whoa. She was like, live video is everything, basically.
Hey, Liz.
How to create a freemium or a baby offer. So a freemium is free. A baby offer is actually something that costs money. So this is when people do ebooks. This is when people do, and again, she's like, people overthink it. It doesn't need to be something crazy. So that. Snapchat, how to grow your business on Snapchat. Her son actually did this chat training. He did a really good job. Boosting your personal magnetism. This again has to do with like your charisma and sharing your story and connecting with your tribe and your lifers. Diving in deeper on growing your email list. Finding the social media platform that excites and works best for you. I'm gonna read through some of these. Email. I know you hate Facebook, Kelsey, but I think actually, but you're rocking Instagram. And I actually know Amber Lanier is doing an Instagram training tonight in a page. So I'm gonna send you that training too. Sorry, I'm talking out loud, but I think that system is going to work really well for you, Kelsey, with the email and all that. So definitely. I would love to learn more about the baby offer and Snapchat. Yeah, we learned a lot of good stuff about Snapchat. I love that too. Instagram. Okay. Cool. This gives me some good ideas then. I'm going to write this down.
So Lindsay, going back to video,
yeah.
Was she talking Facebook Live? Was she talking Instagram stories or Snapchat? Or
she basically was like, anytime you can talk, you know, and do it live whenever you can. YouTube is actually, you can go live on your phone now. You might have to have a certain amount of subscribers, but that's going to change soon. And yeah, but mainly she talked a lot about, and Instagram has the live feature now too, but she talked a ton about Facebook Live, and she really broke down even how to share a live feed to capture people's attention. She like broke it down into steps. So that'll be like a really easy one that I'll be able to share with everyone. I might even just make a video on it and share rather than even having a team call on it, because it's broken down that well that she gave us. So, but yeah, how to make it, how to capture people's attention, what sort of things to share, how to get them to engage. That was a huge one. And not only engage with you, but engage with each other, which is a part of the algorithm that I didn't know. So Facebook likes it not only when people are commenting, but when people are commenting on people's comments. So how to really kind of get that going on your live feed. Cool. Are there any other questions? Was this sort of helpful? I think that as homework, we should all open up our MailChimp accounts and just at least get our customers and coaches uploaded. I'll post that video tonight.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything with it. I have an email list. I just don't know if it's like appropriate. So I had asked people who wanted my Christmas cards to email me their addresses. So I have their emails. I just don't know how I would like approach like like they gave me their email. Can I just email them whatever? Like, and then they can just say stop emailing me or like block me if they don't want the email?
So people can upload them into MailChimp and they'll have the opportunity to unsubscribe. So if you sent them something lighthearted, just like that they might find of value, I would start with that with them. But yeah, there's an unsubscribe button. It's a really kind of like official email system.
Okay. And I can just include a picture of Clark in every single one.
I mean, who's going to unsubscribe from that?
I was like, I'm going to bribe people with these Christmas cards because I like posted a thing like thinking like a few people had won it and like 100 people commented on it. And I was like, shit, if I'm going to pay like $100 for Christmas cards, like I need to get something out of this.
I love that. The other cool thing too is on MailChimp, there's a little place that you can put why you're on the email list. So like that could be part of what you fill in too. Just being like, I have you on my mind. I'm, whatever. I don't know. You could figure that part out. But
okay.
I would just say, honestly, the good thing is they can always unsubscribe. But I don't think people will.
Okay. Yeah, because like that's why I was like, what do you do? Send like a normal email and then like what do they have to block you or just like always delete your emails, put it in spam? But that's good that it makes it like official and lets you unsubscribe.
And I would also recommend don't get fancy with MailChimp. This is another for the perfectionists out there. You don't need, because there's a lot of options on MailChimp where you can do like columns and newsletter styles and all this glam. Text has the best open rate. Like I remember that from some email marketing that I did in the past, like just straight up regular text email is the way to go because you just want to be normal. You don't want to be like flashy.
Okay.
For certain things, but. So if anyone has any other email questions that come up after this, or if you're like, I tried to do the MailChimp thing, I don't understand it, I'm always here for questions. So feel free to reach out. But I'm telling you right now, guys, it also feels good just to accomplish something like that. I felt so businesswoman-like the other day when I imported all my names. I was like, yes, check, I did it. So I highly recommend doing it and utilizing it, and I promise like it's going to have great results for you. So have an awesome night, everybody.
Night, thank you.
Bye.